Chapter 9. A Hero for 90 Years. Harriet and other black people were glad when the war started. At last, there was a chance to end slavery. Harriet said that she would do anything to help the North win the war. Now, the states in the North began to call themselves the Union. In 1862, the Union Army asked Harriet for help. She went by ship down to South Carolina. The Union Army had taken over the forts in South Carolina. Harriet found many slaves there who had run away from their masters. These runaway slaves were still in danger, so the Union Army was protecting them. Many of them were sick, and Harriet became their nurse. She taught them how to do work for the army. She also took care of soldiers who had been wounded in battle. Then Harriet became a spy for the army. She became a great scout for the Union soldiers. She helped the Union generals plan their attacks, and she led raids against the Confederate Army. She also trained other runaway slaves to work as spies. Her work was always full of danger. If the enemy soldiers caught her, they would kill her, but she never got caught. At first, Harriet got paid for working for the army, and she was given food. But the other runaway slaves were not getting paid by the army. So Harriet stopped taking any food or money from the army for herself. She started to bake pies and make root beer. She would make the food at night and pay someone else to sell it during the day. This is the way she made a living while she was helping the army. The Union won the Civil War in 1865. When the war ended, Harriet went back to the North. She got a small farm for her parents in Auburn, New York. She was always very poor, but she still went on taking care of other people. She raised other people's children, and she took care of old people. She always made a place at the farm for poor people to stay. She would do any work that she could find so that she could feed them. Harriet was so poor that she almost could not finish paying for the farm. A woman named Sarah Bradford heard about this problem. Sarah liked the things that Harriet had done. So she got Harriet to tell the story of her life. Then Sarah wrote a book about her. It was called Harriet, the Moses of Her People. The money from the book helped to pay for the farm. The other soldiers from the Union Army got money from the army every month for the rest of their lives. This money was called a pension. For many years, Harriet's friends tried to get her a pension too. It took 30 years to get her a very small pension. She was more than 80 years old by the time she got the money. Harriet never stopped helping other people. She wanted to build a home for the black people of Auburn who were old or sick or homeless. She tried for years to raise the money to build the home, but she couldn't get enough money. So Harriet gave up her own house and farm for the home. After that, the people of Auburn raised the money to build the home on her farm. The home is still there today. Harriet died in 1913 when she was 92 years old. When she died, the people of Auburn put her name on the courthouse so that Harriet would never be forgotten. The end. In memory of Harriet Tubman, born a slave in Maryland about 1821. Died in Auburn, New York, March 10th, 1913. Called the Moses of her people during the Civil War. With rare courage, she led over 300 Negroes up from slavery to freedom and rendered invaluable service as nurse and spy. With implicit trust in God, she braved every danger and overcame every obstacle. Withal, she possessed extraordinary foresight and judgment, so that she truthfully said, "On my Underground Railroad, I never run my train off the track, and I never lost a passenger." This tablet is erected by the citizens of Auburn. The end.